What's up, 4th through 6th grade leaders? Gonna get started with our weekend preview for the 15th and 16th of May. I got my spring colors on. Let's get started. Let's go. Had to do a quick location change because my second video that I previously filmed had some weird tech glitches in it. So I just wanted to just preview the lesson that we're going to be focusing on this week. We're in the second part of our series, and the name of the series is called Ready for Anything. And we're talking about character and building character that resembles God's heart. We talked about the fruit of the Spirit last week and how we can test good and bad character. And this week we're going to build on that idea of character. We're going to talk about one specific character trait that is so essential to having a godly character, and that is the trait of honesty. Honestly. Talking about honesty. Okay, bad joke. Anyway, we're going to focus primarily on how honesty really changes the way that we build and develop relationships in our life. And there's lots of different ways that happens. And my big emphasis and my big focus that I want us to kind of see is how lies ultimately end up eroding the trust that every single relationship needs, and every single not just a relationship with us and God, but specifically the relationship with us and people, and with us and our true nature and who we are. And so this idea of honesty is not just essential for us to interact with people around us, but it's also so essential to how we see everything. And if we can develop that, then we can really begin to see the way that God's power and fruit will embody and come out in our life. So I'm going to transition now into the activity and the small group lesson that we will be discussing, and how that's going to look practically in the classroom this weekend. So for the activity and the small group leader discussion that we're going to have this week, we're going to be doing a simple activity, and it's the game Jenga. I mean, a lot of you guys have probably seen Jenga. We're going to have a blocks set up on each table, set up and built for you guys to participate and play with those. So during free time, you can play the game, but you're also going to play it during the activity. So you may want to set those aside and encourage them to wait for that activity after the video. In the video, there's an illustration that they give regarding how lies ultimately end up eroding trust in relationships, and that's what is a perfect illustration of what the game Jenga is. When you take out the little blocks each time, you're eroding the foundation of that structure, and that's how relationships work. When we lie, we take trust away. We remove trust from the relationship, little by little, and until eventually it just crumbles. And so one of the ways you can do this activity is you can really press into the challenge of how we all find ourselves in situations where we lie, some big, some small. But if you start with sharing a personal example of how a lie in your life had either turned into a complete catastrophe, or it just kind of just slowly eroded a relationship, that would be a really powerful thing. Or you could use a cultural example. There's lots of cultural examples of people or groups that have built their structure on lies, and they have crumbled as a result of that. And then hopefully that will bridge to asking them some questions about where they found themselves lying, or where they find themselves telling things that aren't true about themselves or about others, and why they do that. We can get to the heart maybe a little bit of what is behind those lies. So that will be the activity. There's a couple of different ways that you can go through it, and you can really press into that question of, what are some lies that you've told in your life, and how has that eroded relationships and broken down relationships. And then through that time of the going through it, you can use it as just a way to break up into two groups and kind of have a competition, but also work through the discussion guide and the questions to kind of see if there's any depth that you guys can get to as you guys play that game together. And maybe there'll be some good chances for you to really pull out what character these kids have developed, and the source of that character, where that character comes from. So that's the whole idea of this, what this series is about, and how that activity plays into it. I'll just explain a little bit more at the huddle, but for now, that's what you need. So come to the huddle 30 minutes prior to the service, wear your Team Kids shirts, and if you have any questions, please reach out via text or phone before Saturday or Sunday. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great next couple days, and enjoy the sun. Bye.